How can you not be afraid when you have let your heart go to someone else? How can you not be afraid when everything that you have put your security in is threatened or gone? You see the pressure, life folding upon you. Silence fills the room. Not because necessarily that you're listening, but now you're looking possibly either if you're going to flee, duck, hide in your own self. This is what he's saying about going to war. Moses is instructing the people to let them know, because your Lord, your God, who's brought you out of Egypt. I want you to know when life gets so severe and serious, it's time out to stop thinking about all these materialistic things and all these plans that you thought you were going to do or what you wanted to do. Now you have to gear up in your spiritual mode and mind frame. Now you have to protect what you do have, which is your family, which is your health, which is your strength. And that's what you have to gear up for, to protect the things that God has given you, that no man should ever take or pull away from you. Not about the house no more. You're thinking about your wife. It's not about getting married anymore. It's about thinking about your mothers and your grandparents and your children and your legacy of just breathing. It's not about the business anymore. They can keep the land. You want your sanity. The Bible talks about gearing up and getting ready. And he says that remember God was with you in Egypt. I want you to think about something. That it always seems that throughout the Bible, they talk about, out of all the victories in the Bible, you always hear about the Israelites and Egypt. Egypt was the most oppressive power. It was the largest and greatest superpower that they could ever imagine during that time. Civilization, education, army, everything. Egypt was it. Egypt was so bad when the world went into famine, the world gathered to Egypt to eat out of the hands and the stockades of this great nation, of this great land. They had their thumb, they had their feet, they had the weight of the world pressed on the Israelites. The Bible talks about that they were in slavery for over 400 years. Making bricks without straw, crying out to God. They had no army to defend themselves. They were as helpless as anyone could be. And God, without a physical army, defeated Egypt. Can you imagine winning a war? A war that was brought to you in physicality without having to be physical. And it is the greatest power that exists that you have ever known. Can you imagine America, as strong as our military is, that we're defeated by a smaller place on the map without them having a vast or greater army than us? See, we worried about nuclear warheads. What if somebody beat America without even nukes? We're so concentrated on chemical warfare and nuclear warfare. What if they didn't have that? But they had something else greater on their side. He said, remember Egypt, remember Egypt. We have to remember in this time in our life when disaster strikes, when war comes, what is our Egypt?